Hi everyone, I'm Kat and welcome to my channel, A Naturally Beautiful Girl. So it feels kind of funny sitting down to film because it has been a while. I've been traveling a lot and I did some pre-filming before I left for traveling, so it's been quite a while since I sat down with the camera, but I think I remember how to do things. So I'm really excited today to be bringing you a video about 2 new products that have launched in the non-toxic beauty space. And I would have loved to have gotten this video out about a week ago, but I was traveling. So I did actually have these products sent to my parents' house. I went to visit them in Florida for a couple days and I wanted to get my hands on them as soon as possible so I could start testing them so that when I got back, I could sit down and film this video. If you didn't already guess from the title, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the brand new Ilia Super Skin Tint SPF 40 foundation and of course on the brand new Kosas Revealer Concealer. I was super excited about these products launching. I initially saw the Ilia, I'm going to call it the SPF 40 tint because the name is really long, but I saw this product on Alexa. She goes by Makeup Blake on Instagram. She posted a picture of this on her Instagram that she'd seen on the Sephora website, and I was like, whenever this launches, I need to purchase it immediately because we all know that the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation is one of my all-time favorite foundations. And I also am a huge proponent of using SPF. As you can see, I am super fair. I don't want to get sunburned. You shouldn't want to get sunburned either. So I always put on an SPF, but I normally use my Josh Roseberg Nutrient Day Cream underneath my foundation. But I am 1000% open to having a foundation that has SPF in it, particularly if it is a physical SPF, which this one is. This only has zinc oxide as the SPF ingredient in it. So it is a physical sunscreen. I only use physical sunscreens. It's a lot better for your skin. Also, I found out when I was growing up that I am sensitive to chemical sunscreens, especially if I put them on my face. My eyes will inevitably start burning, but I really just don't feel comfortable with those ingredients on my skin in general, so I only use physical sunscreens. I was super excited to try this product out as well because I've been having a love affair with the Kosas Tinted Oil Foundation. I also really like the new Vapor, I can't remember the name of it, but they're like tinted oil foundation. And I've really been tending towards products with a little bit lighter coverage. I just like how my skin looks. I just have been really trying to embrace a lighter coverage foundation and embrace my skin more, which is difficult to do as someone who struggles with acneic skin. As you're going to see in the demo of me applying this product, I do have acne right now. I was traveling and wasn't able to use my full skincare routine, and I really stupidly forgot to bring my Juice Beauty Blemish Clearing Serum with me on the trip. And I can tell you, the first couple days I was fine, and then my skin let me know that it was not okay with me not having that product. So I'm still kind of dealing with the aftermath of that. But let me first start off with giving you a little bit of information about this. So I have the shade ST1, which is Rendezvous, and I believe this is the lightest shade of the foundation. I unfortunately was not able to shade match myself in store. Some Sephoras are carrying this in store. A couple of different clean beauty retailers are now carrying this online. I'm not sure if they are physically available in store yet. I haven't been to the Credo in Boston recently, so I have no idea if this is there or not. I just kind of had to guess from the descriptions. I have very porcelain skin and it's pretty neutral in undertone. And I had a lot of faith in this product because actually Ilia has pretty good shade ranges in terms of fair shades. I found, for instance, there are 2 shades of the True Skin Serum Foundation I can use. They came out with a shade of their True Skin Serum Concealer in Arrowroot that I can use. So if you use the Arrowroot Concealer or Sable or Formentera for the True Skin Serum Foundation, then I can tell you that this shade Rendezvous will work for you. As you can see, it is a pretty good shade match. If you are sampling this and trying it in store, I would let it sit on your skin for a minute because I noticed that it kind of adjusts to a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily say it's oxidizing, but it just kind of adjusts a bit in color. So don't just put it on your hand and then pick out that color. Give it a second to kind of mesh with your skin and see what color it actually is going to end up. This foundation is really liquidy, and in that way it does remind me a lot of the Kosas True Skin Serum Foundation and the Vapor Foundation. It definitely is runny. One thing I can say is that I actually really like applying this with my hands. When I first tried out this product, I applied it with a brush just because I always apply my foundations with a brush, but as you can see in the demo, I do dot some of it onto my hand and then rub it in with my fingertips, which I honestly really like. I like the finish it gives. It prevents the brush from absorbing the product and losing any of the product that way. And it just blends out really easily. And it's a kind of the perfect product for, you know, traveling, doing your makeup on the go. If you just want easy, fast makeup, this is great. Also, because it does have SPF in it, you do eliminate that step of having to put on an SPF prior to using this product. You can just use this and be good to go. I will say with regards to the SPF, I was reading on, I think I saw on Ilia's Instagram that this product is unique in how the zinc oxide is suspended in the product, and for that reason you really have to shake it up well to make sure that you're actually dispersing the zinc oxide within the product, because the zinc oxide is the thing that's providing the sun protection. So I'm really careful when I mix this up. You should be too, especially if you are using this as your primary form of sun protection. Because it is a dropper, I make sure not just to shake it, but also like squeeze the dropper up and down to actually mix the product up in there as well, because it's only going to be effective in protecting you from the sun if you actually get the product mixed up really well. So the finish of this foundation, at first I thought it was kind of glowy, but as I've been trying out more, I've realized it's more just kind of like a natural skin-like finish. It's not overly dewy, it's not matte, it's just very comfortable. I have actually tried this foundation out in Florida and in Boston because I got this when I was traveling, which is nice because now I can tell you how it works in two very different climates. I found that it wears really well on me. I have oily, acne-prone skin. My skin does get oily, and it does get oily when I use this foundation throughout the day. That happens with every foundation. My skin is just going to be oily at the end of the day. That's how it is. There's nothing I'm going to do about that. But what I look for in face products is products that don't break apart when it gets oily. When it gets oily, I just want the product to still look nice, but not be like splotchy or moving around or seeing my skin peeking through beneath the product. Like, that's just weird. I want everything to still look nice, even if it is a bit more glowy. And this product certainly does it. It does not break apart on me at all, which that's the reason I love the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. Like, it wears so well on me. And this is now another foundation that wears so well on my oily skin. It is a lighter amount of coverage than the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. That one is definitely more on like the medium to full coverage. Like, I can get the coverage built up. This is definitely on the light side. In the demo of me applying this, you can still see my acne spots. You can see little blotches. It really just evens out your skin tone, but doesn't provide a lot of additional coverage. To get a bit more coverage, I'll go in with some concealer to build up coverage in spots where I feel like I need it. Also, I do go ahead and set this. I use my Clove and Hallow Pressed Powder Foundation, and that also provides a bit of coverage while also just helping to set and hold everything in place. Overall, I have to say this has become one of my new favorite staples. Like, I absolutely love it. Do I love it more than the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation? I don't know. I like both of them for different reasons. I like the coverage of the True Skin Serum Foundation, but I love that this one is more lightweight. It has SPF in it. If I'm really in a hurry and I don't want to worry about putting on SPF and foundation, I can just use this as an all-in-one product. It's perfect for me on the weekends when I just want to have a really fast, easy, quick, minimal makeup look. Just throw this on, run out the door. It was perfect for traveling, where I also tend to stick to very minimal, fast, easy makeup routines. I'm a huge fan. I I wanted to be a huge fan. I wanted to love this product, and you know what? This is a case of a product that has truly lived up to every one of my expectations. Also, I should mention too that this product doesn't settle into my fine lines. Yes, I know. I'm 27 years old, but I do have some fine lines. Like I noticed around when I hit 25, they started happening. I have, a little bit of lines around my mouth, which is normal. It happens, it happens as you naturally age. I have a little bit of lines on my forehead, same thing, but this foundation really doesn't settle into them. So I think especially if you do have more mature skin, I think this is a really good product. Really, compared to all the foundations I've tried in non-toxic beauty, like this one checks every box. The only box it doesn't check is being like really high in coverage. So if you do want something that's super full coverage, I would say maybe try like putting this on first and then like putting another foundation on top of it, going in with a powder foundation to build up coverage. But really that is the only category it's lacking in. And for me, that's not a problem because I am tending to like more light coverage foundations. But overall, yeah, I love it. You're gonna be seeing it a lot. As you've been seeing the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation a ton on my channel over the years, you are now going to be seeing this Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40 foundation on my channel a bunch, and especially as we're moving into summer. And it's a really high SPF, which I honestly don't find that often in the non-toxic beauty space, so I'm really happy to see this. I think it's a great product as we're moving into spring and summer. It wears well, it doesn't cling to, it also doesn't cling to dry patches because, I've gotten some of those from traveling and going from warm climates to cold climates. Like I said, it just wears well, whether it's, hot outside, whether it's cold outside. It just is a beautiful, beautiful foundation. I give it 5 stars. It's got a cat stamp of approval. I love it. Now we're going to move on to the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I still am super excited about this product. I love that Kosas is really expanding their line. I remember when they were really just lipsticks, and then I remember when they came out with their blushes, and now they've got lip glosses and the lip sports, is that what they're called? They've also now got concealers, foundation. Like, I love where Kosas is going as a brand, which reminds me, I'm going to be doing like a full face using Kosas coming soon. That is on my list of videos to film. But this Revealer Concealer, I should start by saying I have the shade 01, which is the lightest shade of the concealer. I'm going to swatch it for you on my hand. My first thought with this concealer is I have a shade problem with it a bit. So the shade here is light enough for my skin. The problem I have with this concealer is it is leaning yellow. I don't know if you can see that on my hand, but it is definitely leaning a bit yellow, and when I do put it under my eyes, I do notice that. I wish that they would come out with a 0.5. I'm not sure exactly how their numbering system works. I know that they have 0.5s in some of the shades of the concealer. I wish they'd come out with a 0.5 of the concealer that's honestly a little lighter and a little bit more neutral in undertone, because as someone with porcelain skin, I can make this work because I've been spending my life trying to make concealers that are not quite the right shade work for me. A big drawback for me with this concealer is the shade. It's just not quite right, and I don't have another shade that I can use because the only other shades are deeper. There's nothing lighter that's neutral. So that's the first thought I have. Overall, I do like the concealer. I'm going to show you a demo of me applying it and then show you one eye concealed versus the other eye. I do think it provides a decent level of coverage. Do I think it's the most full coverage? No. I definitely can still see my dark circles when I use this concealer. It's not a full coverage concealer. I find the Hand Skincare Cosmetics concealer to be more full coverage. I also find the Fitglow concealer to be more full coverage. Also, I really have been loving the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer, and the shade Arrowroot is a bit of a better shade match for me. In terms of formula, this concealer does remind me of the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. They're both a little bit more self-setting. They're not a overly moisturizing formula. This concealer does say that it's moisturizing, but it's not overly dewy. Like, I can set it. I always set it with my 14E setting powder, and it does wear really well on me, and I can get it to set and not crease. I mean, it'll crease a little bit because every concealer will crease a little bit, especially if I'm having a good time and smiling and laughing a lot, which, you know, those are all good things. This will crease on me a little bit, but I can just take one of my fingers and just kind of pat out the creases and I'm good to go. There's nothing major creasing going on. So in that regard, it honestly works better for me than the Fitglow concealer, which does crease on me a bit more than most other concealers. So this one definitely is on the more favorable side in how it wears. I have tried using it to conceal acne spots, and I honestly just don't find that it works that well. I don't think it's quite full enough coverage for me for that. The Ilia True Skin Serum concealer works much better at concealing acne spots than this one does. I guess overall what I would say is I like the concealer. I think it's really nice. Is it my favorite concealer I've ever tried? No. I think there are other concealers that work really well in the non-toxic beauty space and are a better shade match for me. And that is where I run into problems a lot of times with complexion products in the non-toxic beauty space, is not having a right shade match. And when you're dealing with a foundation, or I find it to be even worse with concealers, if that concealer is not quite the right shade, it's hard for me to be 100% in love with that product because I don't love how it looks. And that's the problem I have now. Like, I fill in my under eyes. Yes, I've concealed the dark spots pretty well. Yes, it looks nice and smooth. It's gonna wear really well on me. Yeah, it just looks nice, I think, in person, and hopefully it also is translating on camera. But it does, I think, look a little bit yellow and a little bit darker than I would personally like. So it's a bit of a personal preference with that. I think if you can find your right shade, you would really love this, especially if you're having a hard time finding the right shade in other concealer formulas. I think it would be good. What I will say is it's not overly dewy, but it's not overly drying. So it's sitting like right in the middle, and in terms of formula, it's pretty perfect in terms of, I think, being able to wear well on a variety of skin tones. I think if you have drier skin, this is going to be a really good formula for you. And if you have oily skin like I do, it's a good formula. If you have normal skin, it'll also work well. Mainly my drawbacks are just the shade is not quite right for me, and I don't find it to be the best for concealing acne. Whereas like the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer, I can use under my eyes. I like the shade. It also is great for acne concealing. So if Kosas watches this video, my feedback would be come out with a 0.5 shade that's a little bit lighter and a little bit more neutral in undertone. Where the shade is right now is just not perfect. Like, it's not going to be my all-time favorite ride or die concealer, but I could see why a lot of people would like it, and I think it's I could see how a lot of people are going to like this product, and I think it's a really great option to have in the non-toxic beauty space. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if you are interested in trying out the Ilia SPF 40 tint or the Kosas Revealer Concealer. Let me know your thoughts on these products. Are you excited about them launching? Are you curious? And also be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I have a bunch of reviews coming up. I have so many. In fact, I was going to originally film this video as 2 separate videos, but then I polled you guys on Instagram to see if you were okay with doing one video, which actually was pretty tied. So I just decided to do one video because I have so many other products I want to review for you guys. We are going to have so much to talk about over the next couple months. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Check me out on Instagram. My handle's at naturallybeautifulgirl for more non-toxic, cruelty-free content. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!